Hey YouTube, Jim here. Welcome to Top 10 Archive. Have you ever felt insecure about having an abnormally long tongue or big ears? Humans come in all different shapes and sizes, but as beauty trends change, what was once beautiful now isn't. The fact is, from short to tall, from thin to fat, we're all just as human as the next person and should be treated no differently. That being said, there are certainly some people who have more prominent features than we've ever seen that are worth mentioning. Today we're going to be traveling around the globe checking out the people with the longest body parts.
Number 10. Longest legs. Being a tall girl is hard enough as it is, but Macy Curran, a 6-foot 10-inch young girl from Austin, Texas, isn't smashing records with her height. Rather, her legs are what are drawing crowds. While she's definitely turning heads by having reached 6'9" at just 16, it's her incredibly long legs that have people baffled. In fact, her hips are basically at her mom's shoulder height. With legs like that, she's ready to step right into modeling. Something tells me her problem finding the right size clothing will suddenly be a thing of the past when designers would kill to dress her. Number 9. Longest fingernails. Ever thought to yourself, wow, getting a manicure sure is expensive? Yeah, me either. But imagine having the longest fingernails in the world. While I'm pretty sure Sridhar Chalal isn't booking too many nail salon appointments, he did pay quite the toll for having the world's longest nails, measuring 30 feet long. Up until 2018, when he had the nails cut off, he had grown the nails on his left hand to this incredible length. The downside? Well, basically everything, but especially the fact that his fingers became disfigured due to the excessive amount of weight they had to carry, which eventually caused nerve damage that claimed his hearing in his left ear. Chalal lives on, and his nails are on display at Ripley's Believe It or Not Museum in New York City. Number 8. Longest mustache. Now this is one I can get behind. All of the great men had stashes. Albert Einstein, Wilford Brimley, Colonel Sanders, that last guy being no relation to myself, despite what some people might tell you in the comment section. But what if you saw someone sporting a 14-foot dirt squirrel? That's right, Ram Singh Chauhan, an Indian man, holds the world's longest and probably heaviest mustache. Men in America would be struggling to keep facial hair for No Shave November, while Ram Singh Chauhan watches from India laughing and probably sweating a bit since he's living in a desert and all. He's been growing his whiskers for 32 years and spends 2 hours a day grooming it. And why wouldn't he? It's the moneymaker. He takes photos with tourists to make a living, wrapping it in Princess Leia-like rolls on his cheeks. Number 7. Longest hair. Xi Jinping stopped cutting her hair at age 13, and it would only take her 30 years to break the Guinness record for the longest hair in recorded history. Her locks measured 18 feet, 5.5 inches, or 5.62 meters. When they asked her about how bothersome it is to have hair that long, she replied simply that she was used to it and it just required patience and a good posture to hold up the weight. Number 6. The longest feet. No, this isn't the knockoff version of the football movie. Jason Rodriguez Hernandez is a Venezuelan man who holds the world record for the longest feet in the world. Of course, he's got the height to match, but shockingly isn't the tallest man in the world. He's 7 feet 2 inches or 218 centimeters. His feet, on the other hand, or should I say on the other foot, they're quite large. Jason Orland broke the record with his 15-inch or 40.1 centimeter feet. Oddly enough, his left foot is a whole half centimeter shorter at 39.6 centimeters. After winning the Guinness record, he won an all-expense-paid trip to Germany where he was treated to custom-made shoes. And where I imagine he got a free ski trip thrown in, minus the ski rental, since he has his own built-in models. Number 5. Longest tongue. Is it any surprise that the longest tongue out there belongs to a YouTuber? You know, all that yapping we do? Yeah, that joke was a bombshell from the start. Anyways, Chanel Tapper is a California YouTuber with a tongue the length of an iPhone. What a comparison, jeez. At almost 4 inches, 3.8 to be exact, she broke the record in 2010 at 21 years old after what I imagine was a childhood full of people asking her to show how long her tongue was. Maybe she could make a living with her tongue doing something else other than being a YouTuber. You know, like, never mind, not going there. Number 4, the longest toes. Would you rather have 5 fingers as long as your toes or toes as long as your fingers? That question seems like all fun and games in the times of playground would-you-rathers, but for a woman in Taiwan, this is real life. Her toes are the longest in the world, nearly as long as human fingers. When seen in a photo on their own, it takes your brain a moment to figure out what exactly is that you're looking at. Why is this girl's hand so weird? I wonder how she reveals it to new friends and romantic partners.
Yeah, I got tickets for the Beatles reunion.
The Beatles?
See you in?
No.
Number 3, longest eyelashes. Probably the most impressive, and for many women, enviable, record to break on this list, until you see just how long they are. You see, Jisimhua from Shanghai, China, has the longest eyelashes in the world. She was born with an interesting set of genes, giving her eyelashes that look like hair from her head and not actually on her face. The hair is so long, there's no curling it. It's just straight and long, falling over her cheeks like streaks of mascara after a good cry. They measure in at almost 5 inches and go down to her chin. Number 2, longest ear hair. Ew. Anthony Victor, an Indian headmaster, was known at his school for being the ear-haired teacher. Surely he brushed this off for years until he realized he could actually break the world record. The hair comes from the center of his outer ears, not from the inside, like mine. Disregard that last statement. And measures 7 inches or 17.75 centimeters. The previous record holder, also an Indian man, had ear hair that was 2 inches shorter, so he pretty much won hands down. Number 1, longest neck. According to the world record charts, the maximum known extension of a human neck is 40 centimeters or 15.75 inches, though the internet is a bit vague on the identity of this person. Created by the successive fitting of copper coils, this sign of beauty is practiced by the women of the Padang or Karenni tribe of Myanmar. Normally, their necks will only reach about half that length before becoming so weak that they cannot support their heads without the coils. In some tribes, the coils are removed to punish women who have committed adultery, and legend says that the rings protect women from the tiger that killed an ancient princess. The practice can be fatal if the coils are removed, therefore has been discouraged in modern times, though sadly recent high tourist demand has somewhat revived this dangerous practice, with some girls being initiated as early as 5 years old. Thanks for watching. It's certainly not a stretch that we'd love for you to become a long-term subscriber to the channel, so click the button, ring the bell, and give this video a lengthy thumbs up. And be sure to tell us about your most prominent feature in the comments. Keep it clean and play nice.